And welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting, thrilling, mind-bending episode of Star Trek The Original Series, as watched by the Lost Podcast of Titan, where the father and son, we watch the series, we hope it's good, turns out it's not. So today, we are watching Kirk and the Enterprise deal with Native American themes. It's the Native American episode, the Indian episode, the White Man Savior episode. I am looking forward to this. Oh no. This is just... Is this the Gene Roddenberry episode? I just have to know.
You just have to know?
Yeah, let's see.
I don't think this is the Gene Roddenberry episode. This was written by Margaret
Who's responsible for this
Arman.
shit?
It was written by Margaret Arman.
What else did she do?
A-R-M-E-N. Let's see. She's written for Marcus Welby, Barnaby
And the
Jones,
$6 million
Wonder Woman.
man and the land of the lost. I see a theme here. She's trash. Trash, I say. She's kind of cute, though. But trash. Oh, but, speaking of, not trash.
Trash.
Not trash.
Oh.
No, D.C. Fontaine, D.C. Fontaine, at the end, the writer of the Enterprise incident, was also the writer of the Journey to Babel. So the whole attend thing was actually a really good callback, and that was a very good piece of writing. I was really impressed.
Oh, let me just go ahead and find that again. I've been thinking of some of the stuff that you did, or that we've discussed about recently, and it made me think, like, of some comments that David Gerald made in his book, The World of Star Trek, about how a television series can
be utter shit, yet still make its mark.
How can the quality deteriorate?
Oh, okay.
And he made some comments about the Enterprise incident. Just get me
here. I'll try and fill the air here, ladies and gentlemen. How about that last episode, the Enterprise incident? That was good. Had actual action and suspense and sci-fi drama and political intrigue.
Nice special effects.
Well, I mean, they were new.
Pretty much.
It's Box of Horn Dog.
Yes, we've finally, this established. Well, I wouldn't go ahead and take all the credit. I imagine what.
Are you actually looking through physical paper?
Yes, I am sorry.
Like, wow.
I mean, I've got the book right here in my hand. It is, by the way, a first edition paperback.
Oh.
So, ha.
So instead of being worthless, it is worth 10 cents.
Yeah, have you been... And how much is that copy of
Harlan Ellison's Through the Glass Teeth? Let me just pull that up. Hold on. The Glass Teeth. Let's see. Oh, damn. It looks like all the physical copies are off, so I can get a Kindle edition. Oh, wait, no, here we go. The Kindle is $8, but an actual paperback copy, Papa, is about $1,000.
Oh, check out David Gerald, Gerrold, The World of Star Trek, and I'm just curious as to how much money I'm holding in my hand.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. $50. So fascinating, the sound of turning paper.
Yes, it's like being in a sitting in a brand new car, or of being
No.
in a shoe store.
This is thrilling audio commentary.
Well, I'll find it.
During the course of the episode, because I imagine we'll both be glued, to this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back on Star Trek, the original series. If you haven't guessed, we are in the Paradise Syndrome. Yes, this is the one where Kirk is an Indian, a Native American, depending on when you were born. So if you would like to join us while Papa shuffles through papers trying to find the passage in question, we can find out why the episode and the season is such shit. And just come back to us when you're ready. Welcome back.
Rock and roll.
3, 2, 1, play. The great tragedies of Native Americans, the Trail of Tears, and the time they were on Star Trek.
Yeah. This is the the Franklin Reservoir, north of Los Angeles, otherwise known as the lake in Mayberry that Andy Griffith and his son Opie used to fish out of all the time.
Oh, it's a gravel pit now.
I don't think it's a gravel pit.
There's no water there anymore.
Oh, I'll shatter all my illusions. And there'll be a gravel pit someday.
It'll be a gravel pit. Why is it always orange blossoms?
They smell nice.
I know, but it's always orange blossom, no matter what series. In Babylon 5, it was also orange blossoms.
They smell very nice.
But there's more than that kind of flower that smells nice. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is this a completely different civilization that had grown up and mirrored Earth? And we also now have Native Americans, or now we have aliens, so maybe the Native Americans were transported to this planet to live.
Your second guess was a lot closer. And that obelisk only shows up in this episode. It was specially built. And that, plus all the outdoor filming, explains why the show's budget went to hell in the third season.
Well, how much did it cost to build that?
I'm not sure.
They could just
It looks pretty decent for just something that was thrown together.
They could do a matte painting.
They can't have Kirk climbing all over a matte painting.
They could write around it. And now we have the local tribe of extras camped out near LA. The fuck? Wait. So let's review. Spock is an expert on mid 20th century automobiles, literature, poetry, and now American Indians.
Well, how do you know they wouldn't understand it? I mean, try it.
Just simply say, they probably know what a shooting star is. They could simply say something along the lines of, it's going to crash down here. We need to move you to a different to a different land.
How do you know?
Exactly. Like, there's plenty of problems that they have. Wait, was that actually a thing? The Tahiti syndrome?
pretty much.
Oh wait, are they going to blow up the asteroid, or wait? They could blow up the asteroid, right?
It's a big asteroid.
Well, they could, fire more photon torpedoes at it. Ah, there we go, diverted. Okay, all right. Oof. Oh Lord, he's going to be like Cortez, and he's going to walk out and fulfill some kind of prophecy, and they're going to worship him as a god. Okay, all right. I always wondered, like, how exactly did they, like how real was that prophecy, or was that just something he made up later?
Prophecy?
Yeah, the Cortez like I was taught, so I don't know exactly how real this was, but that the Aztecs had this prophecy where basically one of their gods would come back on a ship with pale white skin and
Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl. Yeah,
Quetzalcoatl.
whatever, close enough. But but yeah, like, was that real, or did he just make it up?
No, the legend was real. It's just that the Aztecs of the period couldn't simply understand. Obviously, Cortez and his people were not Aztec, so they must have been from somewhere else. QED, they were the gods from far away who had returned.
This is why generally having a religion where a god comes back is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Asteroid. Oh. Wait, goddamn, that's a big ass fucking asteroid. Or is that just a rogue planet at that point?
I would have, if it's as big as Earth's moon, I would have called it, just a loose moon.
That sounds like a cool band name, Loose Moon. Well, then we better hurry, then shouldn't we? Yes. And McCoy should know this. Or, I mean,
But
leave a party behind.
There might not be members of the audience who fully accept the logic of what Spock is suggesting, and so they had McCoy's character. Had McCoy's character relate to all the reasons why they could not hang around.
Hey, it's a prop. John has worked on that all day, and now you busted it.
I wonder how easy those original props were to break.
I don't know. Although, like I said before, I think in an episode way back when, being a prop master on a TV show like this is probably the best job ever.
I'd like it.
Behold. See? There's the life. Wait a minute. Is that a white woman? Did they not use a Native American actress?
Wait, let me check. That's Sabrina.
Well,
Sharf,
that doesn't really sound like a Native American name there.
No, Sabrina. She appeared in a lot of biker movies, including Easy Rider. Let's see. She was born in Ohio, if that helps.
No, it does not.
I can't see any evidence of Native American heritage.
It's like the horrific truth where the commercial where the Indian cries because someone threw something out of the window onto the highway. That actually wasn't an Indian. I'm like, what the fuck?
What's wrong now?
He wasn't an Indian.
Oh. Oh, okay, yeah.
Highway to the danger zone. That's like the world's smallest village too. Like, holy shit.
Well, there might be a few extra teepees more within the tree line.
That sounds reasonable. Also, wait, how do they understand each other?
That's a good question. Did you catch that comment? The wise ones who planted us here.
Oh, I caught it, yeah.
Oh.
I already figured out that twist back at the obelisk. Bullshit.
Our doubting Thomas there is portrayed by Rudy Solari.
An Italian.
This, that, and the, appeared this, that, and other stuff in television. He was also an acting coach and theater director.
Hmm. Wait, why isn't the medicine man doing anything? Oh, he's going to do CPR, bring him back to life, and that'll cement him as a god. It's almost as if this is an incredibly unoriginal episode.
He's forgotten his personal history and stuff, but he somehow remembers CPR.
Yeah.
That must have been a heck of a CPR coach he had back at the academy.
Because I can assure you that shit went in and out. And lifting the legs like that is not part of the curriculum.
He's making the sign of the donut.
What?
Sorry.
Till you don't remember when. Yes. Yes, I do. What's the matter with you? I mean,
What's the matter, you? Why are you showing respect? Who do you think you are?
come in here taking all your gabadagoo. Oh, hold up. Hold the fuck up. No, 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 no.
What?
She's just taking the band off of him and giving it to him? Like,
Yeah, because he couldn't do anything, but since he's obviously more superior in ability, he now becomes the medicine chief and the new shaman of the tribe.
oh, no, 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 no.
You couldn't see this coming?
Back again.
No.
Wow, you are off your feet today.
As in, I could see it coming, I just didn't want to contemplate it.
Oh, and in the book I was reading, I
Yes.
read where George Takei had to spend several weeks working on the Green Beret, so that explained his extended absence. Apparently, his presence on the set was much more extensive than I thought.
Yeah, but he wasn't gone for just a few episodes. He was gone for, like, damn near a third, half of the season.
Yeah.
Did they, like, wait until he was gone before they started working on all the episodes? Like, damn.
No, I don't. That's too nasty for Hollywood. Yeah, he took out the dilithium crystals.
Also, we're in season 3, and like, in my head, getting dilithium crystals and, we're running out of power was a much more prevalent plot point in Star Trek. Like, the Klingons were always on the attack.
Yeah.
We'll do it again. Well, why didn't you try and split it to begin with? Why don't you use photon torpedoes?
I'm kind of wondering what's wrong with their photon torpedoes, but I guess
Or
we'll never know.
the nuclear warheads that they have. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ah, damn. Now I'm going to kill the god.
Well, then we're just up that well-known creek without a paddle, although we do have canoes.
I mean, she is cute. I'm not going to lie.
She is, yeah. You shouldn't be asking that question, fella.
No, that's never a good answer, no matter what the answer is.
You know, does this tomahawk make me look fat or something like that?
Like the knife in his belt is just sort of stitched on. It's not even a real knife. So did you find that salient passage in the history of Star Trek book yet?
Oh, yeah. Why? Are you already that bored?
Oh, God, yes. Please, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
So what the fuck was going on?
Well, it's not what the fuck was going on. It was just Gerald's reaction to it. But he was talking about examples of how the Prime Directive weren't really effective. I now read, the worst offender was an episode entitled The Enterprise Incident. In this episode, Kirk seemingly goes crazy and orders the Enterprise into Romulan space. The Enterprise is captured. Kirk is killed, we think. Spock seduces a Romulan captain. Kirk puts on a Klingon disguise and, aha.
Romulan disguise.
Now we find out that, he also says Klingon disguise. That's a direct quote. He must have had his aliens mixed up then. He
doesn't sound like a very trusting source then on Star Trek.
Well, he wrote The Trouble with Tribbles. He sneaks on board the Romulan ship to steal their cloak of invisibility device. Never mind the holes in the story big enough to drive a starship through. The episode came about as a result of the Pueblo incident. The story was as dishonest as anything ever presented on American television and representative of Star Trek's worst failures. Instead of testing Kirk, and by implication contemporary man, it said that the ends justify the means because our ends are just, no matter what we choose. Our means will be just too. It ignored the fact that the means shape the end. If a culture uses espionage and trickery and force, then no matter what is written in the laws and Constitution, it is not an honorable culture.
Well, yeah, but Romulans had a cloaking device, and we needed to know what that was about. So, yeah, like, is he implying that because we were a bit underhanded trying to steal a technology, that we have moral failings?
Yeah.
Like, should we not have tried to grab the scientist from Nazi Germany for Operation Paperclip because of the moral failings and then just let them all go to the USSR, quote unquote, willingly? Like, what's the moral implication of letting the world fall under communist rule?
Well, the point that Gerald was trying to bring in this and other examples is that everyone in the Federation was adhering to the Prime Directive.
Yeah.
And then something comes along and they feel that no matter what the result, our culture is essentially superior to the Klingon culture or the Romulan culture or the Tholian culture or what have you. And so the overriding consideration is to impress our way of life on other cultures. We are automatically right and superior because we are the Federation.
Well, I would say that we were superior to the Klingon culture, considering the Klingons were outright enslaving some of the planets, giving weapons of mass destruction, slaughtering leaders. Like, yes, this moral bullshittery of all cultures being equal is bullshit. Now, Romulans, on the other hand, are clearly superior to the Federation culture.
And if you want to, you can jump in at lostpodcastoftitan at email.com.
At gmail.com, yeah.
And throw in your 2 cents. I think, but it's a lot heavy-handed. D.C. Fontana, who wrote the episode, did not really like the implications that were being made. She wanted it to be an accurate depiction of the Pueblo incident, and she wanted I think the Romulans to be trying to kidnap the Enterprise and steal technology, rather than us having to go and, squirrel it out of the Romulan ship.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, what about the Ferengi? Are they a superior? Are they a morally equivalent culture, or the Cardassians? Yes.
The Ferengi are
Yes.
moral within their own
limits. Right? Yes. Is a
so
moral
yeah,
limit
all
is a
right.
moral limit absolute? As in, is morality? Can a sense of morality be justified across all cultures?
Not the same sense of morality. I mean, in Ferengi culture, the emphasis, the overriding ethic, is the bottom line.
Right.
Profit.
Yes.
So that is morally acceptable to the Ferengi society.
Okay. So what if it's morally acceptable to the Ferengi society, since everything's about the bottom line, to go on a rampage and start killing people randomly just to have their stuff? It expends the least amount of effort and time to get the most kind of acquisition.
Can you always prove that just straight out genocide raises the profit margin?
Oh, it doesn't matter if we can prove it. This is what they believe.
Okay, it's what they believe, but let's say that they go and wipe out the entire. If they annihilate an entire culture and then suddenly learn that since they no longer have that culture as a target, the profit value of what they were desiring from that planet, it drops.
Well, they don't understand. They don't think that far. They just take the stuff.
Oh, I think they do think that far. If they wanted
What
to,
I'm saying, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
This you said it's by the moral absolute of the culture in question, and I'm telling you that in this hypothetical case, that is their moral absolute, despite whatever logic might prevail in that. Their profit margin goes down. They don't have many customers. This is what they believe: wipe out everybody, grab their stuff. Is that then moral if they believe it is moral?
Okay, it is moral if they believe it is moral.
Oh Lord,
no. Hush, hush. Now I listen to you. You listen to me.
All right.
My feeling is that if they accepted that extreme, eventually there would be no profit margin.
Oh, okay.
And that just undercuts their entire philosophy.
Well, I am so glad it undercuts their entire philosophy, and I am sure the thousands upon thousands of graveyard planets that it took for the Ferengi to get to that point will rest assured knowing that their sacrifice eventually came to fruition. Like, no, this is the Captain Pike argument all over again. No, we have had this discussion. Slavery is not morally acceptable. I really don't care if the culture likes it or not.
It's not acceptable to us, but it's acceptable to that culture.
Oh Lord!
Do we have the right?
Yes.
To go all the way over across a world or a universe?
Yes.
And say bad, no donut.
Yes. Like, I'm sorry, we've had this discussion, as a culture, and slavery is not moral. Like, there was a time when we considered it moral, and even then it was not moral.
So, I'm trying to find the words for this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, yes, of course I believe.
Do you... But I mean, yeah, you can't go to another planet which has practices slavery.
Yes, you can.
And go down to the planet. No, please. Obviously, the slaves on that planet would, agree that slavery is bad.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you draw the line? Because you're on a slippery slope. And I can't believe I'm defending this, but I just feel it has to be made. In the Next Generation episode, Pen Pal, everyone is all hot and bothered to save the planet from the internal destruction that's tearing it apart.
Mm-hmm.
But Picard says, no, we can't do that. That would be interfering in the natural development of a culture.
Now that is the stupidest fucking thing I have ever heard. Interfering with the natural development of a planet and culture. The planet is going to blow up. There is no natural development. It is done.
That was the problem I had with that episode.
Yes.
Picard says, if they were to contact us directly for help, yes, then we would be justified in moving in and saving.
Contact directly for help. You gotta have to wait. Like there's a person mortally wounded on the side of the river, and they can't cry out for help. But since they can't cry out for help, well, I mean, we're just gonna keep wandering down the river. Like, no.
Okay, no, I'm not saying that I agreed with, and besides that, it didn't take much just to tip Picard in favor of saving the planet.
Well, I had a cute kid.
Picard,
but can't really ignore the kid.
But Picard was mentioning, an important point, which is where do you draw the line?
Not there,
because it's a slippery slope.
Okay,
yeah, but where do you draw the line?
I'm sure we can have the discussion of where to draw the line somewhere after slavery. Like, I mean, no. Well, we have cultures right now that have actual slaves.
Yes.
Should we just, let them have it? We kind of are. Is that morally justifiable?
Well, you just find a way to justify homeowners associations, which is the same thing as...
I have never justified homeowners associations.
See, they're an example of a slaving culture.
What, the homeowners association?
All homeowners association are essentially little tin fascist gods who hold, the people in their area under a form of slavery. But they are still allowed to survive, even though they are oppressive. I have yet to see a homeowners association that acted in a positive way. And when did he get that shirt off?
Oh, that's Kirk. Oh, hey, he's not wearing a girdle.
No. When the scene started, I think he was wearing a shirt, and then they run a little bit more, and he's not wearing a shirt.
Well, you know how it is. You run with a woman, suddenly you start losing articles of clothing.
She doesn't seem to be losing any articles of clothing.
Well, moral justification being what it is.
And also, some items actually look better when it's still in the wrappings.
Yeah.
After that, one potato chip looks much like another. Well, not necessarily that, but Salish is following me with a knife. I'm surprised he hasn't been babbling a lot to the rest of the tribe, but...
But anyway, yes, we can have the slippery slope, and we can, get off that ride after slavery.
Right, here we go. I just came up with a historical reference.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Well, you did it. The country of Iran.
Uh-huh.
For decades, they chafed under the autocratic rule of the Shah.
Right.
Who, unfortunately, we helped put into power.
Right.
And everyone's ended up, hating the Shah. So, there was a revolution. The Shah was deposed. And cheers were rung out throughout the world. But he ended up being replaced by the Ayatollah Khomeini.
Right.
Which which developed something far worse.
Okay.
That's your slippery slope. I mean,
how is that a slippery slope?
You can change.
How is? Hold on. That was just the autocratic United States putting a puppet in charge so that they could have oil. That is not the equivalent of, stop having slaves.
Would they have interfered in a planet rotten with slavery if there wasn't anything on that planet that the Federation and in particular Starfleet needed? I'm sure that all these planets we've come to that practice slavery, for every one of those, there are probably hundreds of more intelligent species throughout the galaxy where slavery was practiced. Why aren't we wiping out slavery on every planet we go to?
Probably because we can't effectively do it. But the moment we can, we probably should. Like the Orions in the Orion Belt, a series of what I guess should be a few planets or a few systems. At least that's what I gather from the Apocrypha. Like, there should not be no Orion slaves.
A similar argument could be made by some of these worlds in regards to the Federation.
In what way?
That the Federation has no right to impose its will upon a planetary culture.
Okay.
Well,
if that planetary culture involves slavery, then the planetary culture sucks and it can either be excised entirely or that portion can be excised.
All right. In the episode Mirror Mirror from the second season, the Federation is trying to establish a treaty with this world, peaceful, no slavery, peaceful civilization, but they do not want the Federation's presence on their world. Why couldn't the Federation just up and go away and say, okay?
Is that the one where the Klingons are coming too?
I think they were mentioned, but they did not actually appear because the action shifted over to the Mirror Universe.
Well, they could make that argument where they don't want to be part of the Federation, as long as, they are not enslaving anybody.
Okay, but they were desperate to impose their will upon the members of that planet.
I'm not saying the Federation is good and just.
Ah, okay, that's what I wanted to hear.
That's not a win. Like, I'm just trying to point out that some cultures suck. Because your dude over there was, in the book, was all like, meh, America bad. Where I was pointing out that our choices were not being the moral high ground with the Russians in a time where that would have gotten everybody either enslaved under the yoke of communist rule or nuclear war. So which was the better outcome?
You do know that even during the height of the Cold War, we were still trading with the Russians, acquiring titanium and such.
Yeah.
So with one hand, we're trading with the enemy.
Right.
On the other hand, we're building up.
I'm not saying we're perfect. I'm just saying we're better.
Would you be saying that if you were raised in the American culture?
I was raised in American culture.
Yes, but if you said that as if you had been raised in someone else's culture, let me pull up for an example Japan.
Okay, yeah.
Would you not consider the Japanese culture superior to the American culture?
If I was raised, but since I have an objective view of the situation, I know that American culture is far superior.
Okay, here's where I think objectivity in such a discussion is superior to subjectivity.
Okay, stop. Does America admit, however stumbling we do that we've had issues with things such as slavery and atrocities, the Trail of Tears, and etc., etc.
There is a militant.
Do we or do we not? Did you go to school and were you taught about the Trail of Tears?
No, I had to find that out on my own.
Okay, well then I can assure you, when I was a young lad in school, I was taught about the Trail of Tears. Now, do you think that Japanese boys and girls are taught about Nanking?
Are taught about what?
Nanking.
I'd like to think that they are.
The answer is no. They are not.
You do have a very severe nationalistic culture that tries to justify Japan's militarism up to and during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also elements in both countries and in other countries with somewhat similar histories that are trying to bring everything out into the open, hang out all the dirty laundry and deal with it and move towards a more progressive state of affairs.
Mm-hmm.
Am I making some kind of sense?
You are, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm on a roll. It makes us a superior culture if we do that, but you can't just... you have the attempt of Japan to recognize the negative aspects of nationalism during World War II. But there is still a lot more work that needs to be done. And we can't just say one person's, the common thread is nationalism, which brought about the bad situations such as the war. And we have to find a better system, but one that can be equally used as growth material by a particular culture.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm stumbling verbally here.
It's all right. I think I get the gist of it.
Okay, then you summarize my gist and feed it back to me.
Because
I want to see
that no one is perfect, but it's the striving for perfect that makes us valuable enough, in that we all provide each other with, different aspects and different lessons.
Okay. Now let me pull up another problem here.
Okay.
You have the Federation come along to a planet that they want to make contact.
Sure.
You have another system that comes along.
Yes.
Not the Klingons or the Ferengi or the Cardassians. Let's say a culture similar to the Federation, but not quite completely similar. They both want to establish relationships with this planet. Now, if the other society decides to dig in its hooves, or whatever they have, so to speak, and establish peaceful relationships with this planet, what makes us possess the right to compete for acceptance?
Well, we can compete for acceptance. Is anyone endorsing slavery in this scenario?
No one is endorsing slavery, but
well, then let the games begin.
Okay, the Dutch and the British come to the New World,
right?
But we don't just get there and shake. Oh, you hear pretty much the same thing we are, and the Dutch and the British shake hands and essentially mingle on the New World.
Yeah.
So, but somehow you ended up with your Dutch region, your Dutch sphere of influence, your British sphere of influence, and also the Spanish sphere of influence.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about the Dutch, the English, and the Spanish.
All right. So, what's the problem? They're all three, or four maybe, similar intelligent societies possessing ingrained ethical systems. Now, some of them, for instance, I would rather have been living under Dutch influence or British influence than, say, Spanish influence or any of the other societies that actively practice slavery.
Mm-hmm.
But, closer, like I say, let's again, the British and the Dutch. Are we saying and let's say I'm one of the British colonists in the New World? Does that make my system, if the Dutch and the British are acting with similar motives and possess nearly enough similar ethics, why do I feel that my system is superior to the Dutch system?
Probably because it's what you okay. You keep taking real world examples, trying to muddy the waters here. I'm simply saying that in this scenario, with the Dutch, the English, the Spanish, and the French, that the equivalency of all of them is kind of murky. But if the Spanish are endorsing slavery, then they are no longer equivalent. They are shit. And that the remaining
it's
cultures...
a matter of preference. Yeah, I agree.
No, there's well, so, like in the English, the French, and the Dutch, we can hash out the details with them, but the Spanish culture at that moment would be worthless. And then, eventually, the slavery aspect of the Spanish culture can be excised, which I'm fairly certain it has. I don't think the Spanish have slavery going on right now. If not, I haven't been paying too much attention. And then they rise up to the equivalence of English, French, Italian, that sort of thing. Get some gabagool.
So the possibility is that an interstellar equivalent of the colonial Spanish, they initially come in enslaving this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But they eventually grow out.
And until they grow out, I don't give a shit about them. We'll liberate their colonies and...
once we get the crops in.
Once we get the crops in, right. Oh, hey, Kirk's back. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? How about that exciting episode?
We're going to catch hell for this.
No, we're not. I mean, this, I'm fairly certain
the
audience probably was more interested in our conversation than Kirk, fucking around with Miranomy.
No, well, I will accept that. But there might be people out there who were actually interested in more critical comments concerning this episode than they were in Federation Colonial History 101.
Oh, I'm sure our audience would just love to hear us chitter-chatter. And speaking of commentary, those are some fantastic tits. Oh, my God.
Okay, so the... So the episode is not a total loss. That's something I've never seen before. I've seen a lot
pair of tits?
No, I've seen a lot of lists build up around Star Trek. Best episode, worst episode, best and language or use of dialogue, something like that. Mm-hmm, I have never seen anyone come up with best tits in Star Trek.
Most attractive alien women in Star Trek? Hold on. Most attractive alien women in Star Trek. Oh, here we go. Most stunning aliens in Star Trek. Rogers is cute and charming, whoever that is. Oh, here we go. The most beautiful women to appear in Star Trek. Definitively ranking the top 12 sexiest characters in Star Trek.
Okay, cut to the chase. Let's have the top 5.
All right. You want the definitively ranking top 12 sexiest Star Trek characters, or do you want aliens?
No, just the first 5, the 5 sexiest.
Aliens? What are we doing? Hello?
You mean they split it up between humans and aliens?
I don't know. Let's just do the top 12 sexiest here. What was this? Number... Oh, hold on. I guess they're not numbering them, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Uhura, 7 of 9, Kirk, Chakotay, and Michael Burnham. Okay, I think this is a rigged list. Never mind.
Wait, some of them were male.
Yeah. Men can be sexy.
All right, well, you excuse me for being hardwired sort of a different way.
Well, I'm hardwired as well, but I can recognize that, women need eye candy. Let's try attractive alien races, I guess. Oh, this is just a poll. 63% for Vulcans, and then 33% for Romulans, the original series. And then 13% for Romulans modern series. Like, that is a weird poll. How about most beautiful women to appear on Star Trek? 7 of 9, T'Pol, Carol Marcus
T'Pol?
from... Yeah, T'Pol. From Star Trek Enterprise, the Vulcan.
Oh, okay. I thought for a moment you said T'Pol.
And the episode's over, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see. We have Carol...
Oh, is it? I thought I had just had trouble in my headphones.
No. So then we have Carol Marcus, specifically from Into Darkness. Jadzia... Yeah, I know. Jadzia Dax. Tanya Barrows from the episode Shore Leave. The woman who was like...
oh, God.
Yeah.
What was no accounting for taste?
Wait, I like... Well, she had issues, but, issues can be attractive. Kamala from Star Trek The Next Generation, I guess. I don't recognize her. Whatever. Ooh, damn. Droxine. Is that from Mud's Women?
The Cloud Minders in this season.
Oh, well, hello. All right. Uhura from Into Darkness. Amanda Cole from Star Trek Enterprise. That's why I don't recognize her. Ishara Yar, The Next Generation. Robin Leffler. Oh, that's Wesley's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Moving
She's
on.
a cutie. She was also in Teen Wolf 2, which is the only reason, in my opinion, to watch that film.
Then we have Carolyn Palamas from Who Mourns for Adonis. What was it? She was 19 in that episode?
Like you
Then
care.
we have Lita, Kalinda, Deanna Troy. God damn, how long does this list go? Holy shit. Holy shit. We're just going to name all the women in Star Trek?
Yeah.
Is that I think that's... Holy God. It keeps going. Here, I'm just going to go like that. And
Now, I forgot...
Oh, the next list.
I forgot about 7 of 9, surprisingly enough, but she was definitely, if we're going to go by terms of physical appearance, drop dead gorgeous. She had,
Well, yeah,
she had the
she
best
was.
lips.
The lips. Okay, all right. But yeah, but that was the reason why 7 of 9 was introduced. Was they wanted to give more sex appeal to Star Trek, because if I recall correctly, most of the episodes, prior to the arrival, were kind of dog shit.
Yeah.
It's like it's a holodeck episode again. It's a medical hologram program episode again.
But I like the idea that they needed more sex appeal in Star Trek, so they went to the morgue naturally.
Well, I mean, it was a good. I mean, it was a good idea.
Yeah. My number one is still Mariana Hill in Dagger of the Mind, playing the female psychologist.
Oh, that's right. I remember her. Yeah.
I would have been worried if you'd forgotten.
So, what did you think of the Paradise Syndrome?
You want me to lie? I thought it stunk it stunk to high heaven, but
it was pretty bad.
I mean, it's getting a C from me.
It's a D or an F, really. Yeah. Because I mean, the story is really so basic, and so, like in 10 minutes, I kind of saw the entirety of the episode unfold before me, and I'm like, well, okay. But next time we have, and the children shall lead.
God in
the Enterprise reaches a. Is that another good one?
It is. No, it is, in my opinion, the worst episode in third season, and that is saying a lot.
Oh my! We saw this. We saw Spock's brain.
Yeah.
And we just saw Paradise
Like
Syndrome.
I said, it's saying a lot. If between this and when we do our next podcast, we might want to look up alternate subjects to discuss.
Well, if you want, we can hold off the episode for, I guess, like an episode, air quotes. We can do one of our talkie episodes. We were kind of overdue for one.
That's what. This doesn't count as a talking episode.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it does, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. We'll come up with the subject between now and then.
Okay. All right. Then that's it, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Rah rah.
Oh.
Some cultures are worse than other cultures.
Real quick though.
Don't let it.
I have
Yes.
been looking. You said that Loose Moon would have been a great name for a band.
Oh,
I didn't
no.
find a band, but Dominique Silver in 2016 released a song called Moon Loose.
That doesn't count.
Just Mr. Particular. No wonder you don't get it.
I mean, the words are in the wrong
no wonder
order.
you don't get invited to a lot of parties.
Oh, I do that on purpose.
Oh,
Like, have you seen people lately?
too much. To be honest.
Exactly. But anyway, take care, everybody. Hope y'all have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you and behave.